So, welcome to this week's episode of Women Celebrating Women. And today I have the most awesome woman who I love so much, Kaycee Peterson. Kaycee, I don't know how to introduce you other than just say I just love you. And you're just one of my most favorite people in the whole world. And physical, non-physical. I don't differentiate. So, would you like to just introduce yourself a little bit and then
absolutely.
our lovely high vibe chat?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Kaycee Peterson. I am the host of Hey Love Queen podcast. I am your favorite housewife with that podcast you love. I'm also a vibrational money life coach, and I absolutely love Franny too. Like, she's one of my favorite people in the whole world, and we connect so deeply that it's just like effortless. And so I'm really excited and honored to be here, and I'm really excited for this show.
Oh, I'm so pleased. Yeah, and I love your podcast. So just anyone, if you've not signed up to Kaycee's podcast, I listen to it when I go out for runs, like when I'm at home, doing it in the gym. Kaycee is just amazing. If you want some high vibe podcast, go listen to Kaycee's podcast. She's got so much to say and so many amazing guests as well. So Kaycee, yeah, Kaycee and I were just thinking about what we might want to chat about. And I think for me, the thing I love about you, Kaycee, is how you talk about money and how you talk about your relationship with money, and how transformational that is can be so transformational for so many people. So would you like to just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my biggest thing about money is, we make all the rules with money. So we make our rules with our relationship with money and everything, because we make all the rules of our life. So why is money ever any different? It's not. So whatever kind of relationship you want to have with money, you can have. We were just talking about, I say, like, money is my boo, money is, it's a close relationship to me. It's unconditional love. My money is always steady no matter what, and will always be there for me, because my money is just source in physical form of money or abundance or something like that. And source is always there for you, always, always, always. So why not make money work for you? Because it is available. Like, that reality is available. So choose it today and start working in that way, because the rules are, there are no rules. You make all the rules. There's always, always, always support. You're always believing in something. You're either believing you don't have money or you do have money. So start making money your best friend, your boo, your lover. Money should be the most important relationship you have to yourself, because we use money for everything. And it is, I tell people, unapologetically live with love and money, because that's the truth. And if someone is like, oh, that's evil or something like that, that's because they have some sort of belief around money being evil. And it's not. Money is beautiful. And it's when it's in like beautiful, like high vibe hands, we change the world. It's the most amazing thing in the world.
Oh, I love that, Kaycee. There's so many things you just said there. I'm like, the first one that came to mind was when you were talking about money is source. And this is I think so vital for anyone who's wanting to change that relationship with money, that for lots of people, they've cut off, they don't see money as being source energy, as to being that kind of universal, unconditional love. They see money in a very different way. And like you were talking about, like these limiting beliefs that we get taught, that we grow up with, that we have culturally, that we have to work hard, or that, that people with money aren't good people, or, all sorts of things that we can pick up, like in our life. And when we can come back to, actually, money is just energy. Money's energy. Money's just, it's the same as love. And when we open ourselves to love, we open our heart. And it's the same with money. Like you said, we have this, we can shift at any point. We don't have to work hard to allow money into our life. We don't have to do certain things. There's not a checklist of like, oh, we have to do this and this. Money's there for us. Money supports us.
Right.
Money wants us Money wants us to have fun. Money
That's right.
wants us to enjoy ourselves. Money wants us to do whatever inspires us. And
Yes,
and
exactly.
and like you said as well, when we talk about putting money into the hands of the big hearty people, that just like, oh, that just really kind of goes straight to my heart, that we, you know, we don't have to be, somehow some people can see like kind of poverty as being this um some kind of honor in not having money, that kind of the sort of, you know, that somehow that being poor is kind of this honest thing, where actually when we have money, there's so many things that we can get to do and be of service
Yes,
to others, and out of
absolutely.
choice, not from a place of I should, but from a place of this fills me up, I love that I get to do this. And that, oh, that's what
Yeah,
I
it's your choice. And
force
people don't think
us
you
to
have
do.
a choice, but it is your choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's your choice however you want to live in this world. And a lot of people don't know that they have the choice to be rich or this and this, but you have the choice to be whatever you want. And so, like, just start small. Start small. I always do the 1% a day rule. People that follow me know that you do 1% a day better than you did the day before with money and just like loving your money more. But in 1 month, you're 30% better. In 2 months, 60. In 3 months, 90. You're almost there. Like, and then you'll have a rock solid relationship with money. Like, just allow money to support you. Just give it that chance. Just expect something different just once, and you will just keep building that amazing relationship. And it gets better and better and better all the time. It'll blow your mind.
I love that you talk about it that way, because this is also like how we talk about kind of compounding like money when money comes in, but like we a 1% difference in one day ends up being 90% in 3 months. That's
Amazing.
incredible. And it's so it when you say it like that, it makes it makes it, breaks it down, makes it so much easier, I think, for people to go, okay, maybe I only 1% change. I could do 1% change today. What's
Yeah,
that?
everyone can do that. Everyone can do that. You can do that 1%. I mean, everyone, no matter what circumstances, you can always be 1% better than you were yesterday. Just reacting 1% better. Like, that's so easy.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Kaycee. I love that. I just, oh, yes. Um, I don't know why now. I don't know why what's coming up now is so interesting, because it's nothing to do with money, but it's something that I think it's something about how we can just have fun and enjoy ourselves, and then money and whatever we want comes to us. I wanted to say to you, like, ask you about your hula hooping, because I love that you hula hoop. And there's something I think about when we do things that we just really love, that we truly like just feel aligned with, that it just opens us up in other ways. Like, would you like to say anything about that? What's your...
Yeah, and I think it's because I'm completely out of scarcity. So I literally feel like I'm a child again. Like I feel like I can like, because like today I'm gonna start learning the piano. Like I started hula hooping last. I mean, I feel so loved and supported by like money and my husband and like all my friends and family, that I actually feel just like a very light, childlike freedom, where I feel like I can like hula hoop in a bikini, or I can play the piano, or I can do this. I feel like I can do anything now because I'm completely out of scarcity with money.
Wow,
And that is complete peace. And that's true.
that's incredible. Could you... I think it may be helpful for some people to sort of hear where you maybe you were when you were younger, and how that's
Yes.
shifted, because you know
Yeah.
people not realize that you know it doesn't matter where we come from, we can always shift to this place of abundance.
Yeah. I mean, I had it probably worse than probably anyone I know. And I'm not joking. Like I like didn't have food in my house sometimes. Like sometimes like for dinner we would have like a bag of popcorn to share. You know what I mean? Or like a piece of toast. Like I'm serious. So when
Mm.
I was younger, because I had like a really young teenage mom, and then I went through a ton of abuse, like a ton of abuse, because I was in that scarcity mindset. So you kind of like attract really bad people into your life. So you get like abused and all those things. I mean, I had a rough childhood growing up. And I'm so blessed because I'm so young still, so I get to enjoy the rest of my life knowing that it's this great. But yeah, I had like nothing. And now I'm like a housewife and I do whatever I want, like all the time. So it's really like it's a huge shift. And if I can do this, anyone can do this. Anyone.
Your life story is so inspiring. How you've um and what's it reminded me of is, you know, people talk about like you can get post-traumatic stress disorder, but we can also
Yes.
get post-traumatic growth, and that's not talked about so much, and that it's just so inspiring for me to sort of know you and know how you've shifted that, and how you've let go of these, like these old patterns, these beliefs that you grew up with, and how you've just, everything's changed, and the way you are, your energy is just so, it's just so clear that you love yourself, you know that you're source, you know your source energy, and you know that when, you know, that everything comes to you because you're here, you exist, that's enough, like you're loved, you're supported. It's just, it's incredible.
Yeah, and the biggest shift is I decided to trust myself one day. I can trust myself. I can trust myself. I can trust myself. And so whatever comes up, and I can't mess up anything in life because I am source energy and I always follow my excitement. And excitement is from source. And I have been led into contrast from my excitement. And it was for my greater good. So I get this a lot. Like I understand what's going on. And I understand just like chill, like don't overreact. But you know what I mean? Like you're always on your path, you're always led, and only follow your excitement. If something doesn't excite you, it's not for that day.
Yes. And as you're talking about that, you were reminding me of, I was listening to a video with Bashar, because it kind of links into the contrast as well. So Bashar, who
Yeah.
channel Daryl Anchor channels, and he was talking about how we follow our highest excitement, and that sometimes when we do that, that it can then also bring us things that we don't prefer, because it's like it's
Absolutely.
coming for us to let go, to release, to recognize and go, okay, that's not what I prefer. I prefer this. Um, and I love when you were saying that, I've decided I trust myself. I
I do.
trust, and I don't overreact. I like, things happen. I know this is for my good. I know that
Yes.
this is for my benefit.
Everything's always working out for all of us, and that's the truth. Even if it doesn't, I mean, it's not the path of no resistance, it's the path of least resistance. And sources, like sometimes they know when you're questioning something, so they'll lead you into a little bit of contrast so you can get crystal clear on what you don't want.
Yeah.
It's the truth, and it's all love, so you don't have to be worried about if something bad happens to you. Bad, you know what I mean? You're crystal clear on what you don't want now,
Mhm.
and you were led there like by the highest love ever, so there's nothing to worry about.
And when you say that, I totally believe you as well. So when you just, whenever you say everything's working out for you, I'm like,
It is.
yeah. When Kaycee says that, I totally believe you. I totally
Yeah.
because it comes from you, it comes from your core, it comes from who you are. You know that, you feel it, you've experienced it.
Yeah, all the time, and it's fine. But like, I just, if you know you're always on your path, then you know that and everything's working for you, then there's nothing to fear.
Absolutely. That's so, isn't that so, can be so key, can't it, in our journey, that when you're talking about like nothing to fear, because actually often the things that we really fear, it's like when we can come to this moment, sit in this moment, and not project out, not kind of look back in the past, but just sit with what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Actually, in this very moment, it's like, yeah, as long as we're in a place where we're safe, like, you know, physically safe,
Yep.
there's nothing. Okay, it's just an emotion. Where do I feel it? What does it feel like? What is it? How do I want to express this?
Yeah.
Um, and we kind of think that it somehow must be complicated, but it's not, is it? It's just what we just allow it, we release it, and then
Right.
okay. Was there a belief behind there that I can let go of and release? Or if not, great, I'm moving on. It was something that was coming up that needed to be released. I'm now thinking of something that you helped me with the other week, where I was experiencing some difficulties, some contrast, and I don't think I was even aware that there was a lot of anger until I spoke to you. But once I connected with the fact that there was this anger that from a very young age, and allowed myself to really feel it and express it, and to not in any way censor it. And I think that was the key for me when I think you said that to me as well. So not expressing it as in anyone else. So it's not about hurting anyone or doing anything to anyone else, but allowing yourself to just really feel whatever's going on,
Yes.
write it out, get it out, write out exactly what anything you want to say, and then release it and let it go. And that for me was just so freeing. And I think the other thing that I think you massively helped me with was like a massive permission slip. Was like, I can go and have a tantrum, like I can go and like have, and not like in front of other people. Again, this is about kind of being respectful of ourselves and everyone else. But I loved it. I totally loved having a tantrum and just really feeling that energy, and just it shifted just from doing it. I now get why toddlers have tantrums. I was like, it that bodily like shift was just so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like we are so scared to feel fear or anger or anything like that because we've been conditioned not to. And plus it doesn't feel good anyways. But if you can feel it and feel that you are being held by source at the same time, it's part of the journey. It's part of like getting back up there and stuff. I like if you suppress it with just suppressing it, you'll probably get anxiety, or you'll stuff it down with food or alcohol or drugs because you're trying not to feel it. But you're going to feel it eventually. So just do it today, and do it in a controlled, loving environment, because it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there, and you're going to have to feel it now, or you're going to have to feel it 40 years from now. It's not going to be as bad as you think. It's part of the journey. Let source hold you, and just give yourself the day to do it, and just ask yourself why. Just don't judge yourself. If you even feel like I hate that person, this and this and this, don't judge yourself, because if you let yourself experience it, then you will shift, because you are source. You will shift back to love. But those feelings are inside of you. And so it's okay. It's okay to look at it. It's safe. It's completely safe. Just don't judge yourself. You're not a bad person. You're source energy. So if source is amazing, so are you. That's all it is.
You make that sound so simple, but I think that's such a it's such an important thing, isn't it, when you were talking about that actually the holding us, I think what it brings up for me is holding a space for ourselves. And that's what we do when we're connected with source. We can hold, if we're able to hold that space for ourselves to really feel what's going on. And like you said, it's in a controlled environment. We're not that then on the other side, it's just like, because on the other side of that for me is now there's just times now where I'm just like, I'm not seeing things as good or bad. It's just all experience, and I'm loving it all. It all feels okay. I feel like that now. Great. Okay, I'm curious. What's that about? Don't know. Okay, well, I'm just gonna be very kind of light, and there's nothing serious going on. It's just and that connection to love, and anger often, and maybe it's not often, but it's certainly my experience, and when I've worked with clients as well on this, that anger can kind of, I feel like it sits on our heart. It stops us really feeling that kind of unconditional love, that kind of source connection. But when we've released it and let it go, we can then just go, that's how it feels. This is how it feels.
Yeah, it's anger is frustration is, and some of my clients, they'll notice like swelling in certain parts of their body and stuff, like when they're angry about certain things, because our bodies are just talking to us anyways. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting, because it's just the frustration built up in a certain area.
Yeah,
And it's okay, like it just let it be released. It's okay. Don't express it to others like by hurting others, but let yourself go through the process. Love yourself enough to know like that you can go through it. Like we talk about like kids and stuff, and I don't have any children, but I would let them throw a tantrum. I wouldn't stop them. I would let them throw it in a controlled environment where they're loved and safe, because I understand it's part of their process.
absolutely. That's yeah, absolutely. And allowing us, allowing our children and allowing ourselves to do that in a controlled way. That creates safety and a
Yeah.
sense of like any emotion's okay, because it's done in a way that actually, okay, well, this emotion's okay. It's not unsafe to feel anger or sadness or whatever, because it's done in a way where there's lots of love around it. Um,
Yeah.
just and when you were talking about that, so interesting, like how our bodies respond. Um, like how that, because I've had clients where it can be issues with their gut, so that their gut's irritated, their body's literally irritated because they're holding on to anger, they're holding on to that kind of, and when they're able to release it, things calm down, their bodies calm down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I had IBS my entire life until I switched to a raw vegan fruitarian diet, because I was walking on eggshells my entire life. So I mean, like my gut was so messed up. So I completely get that. And it's like, but once you like shift out of that and you're not walking on eggshells, it's just like, oh, I can relax. It's peaceful. It's calm. It's fine. No matter what happens, it's okay. Like, and then everything falls into place. Like then when you finally feel that way like about yourself, like everything just lightens up, and then your partner treats you that way. Like everything happens, like you can make mistakes and your partner doesn't like get mad at you or anything like that, because they're responding to your energy. It's really nice.
That's incredible. I didn't realize you'd had IBS, so interesting that I brought that up. But you don't now. You're like your body's in a calm, centered, loving place. And I love some of the sort of new paradigm ways of looking at our bodies, and how our body cells, they, all of the body cells, so it's not just our brain, it's not just our kind of what's going on in our head, that all our body's cells respond to us. So when we can hold our body with love, when we can connect and love every part of us, and I've seen you do this, and I absolutely love it when I saw you do this, it just they, those cells start working they work more collaboratively. They're dancing because they feel it. And it might sound kind of, I don't know, it might sound a bit out there, but it just the thought of like that our bodies, all of, there's neuroreceptors in all our body cells, and that they can feel that when we feel loving, when we feel
Yes.
and you and I loved, I think you posted something recently about your body and how much, and that was just it again,
Yes.
so much from the heart, from source of like, I love this about my body. I
Yes.
I love these parts of my body. I found that so inspiring. For lots of women, we have these kind of cultural expectations, these cultural whatever it is, things about what's the ideal body, this is how I should be like this. And it's like, no, like when we can just love ourselves, love our bodies as they are, it's just
Yeah, and I
it's
think it's
free.
so amazing to be real. Like I'm a girl's girl, like I'm girl power. Like I'm all about that. Like the feminine, like I love my girlfriend so much. You know that because you're one of them. I love, so it's like it's okay to show your stretch marks. It's okay to like I hula hooped on my period this week, bloated on purpose because I wanted to show people that your body is beautiful. You don't have to, like, you're perfect just how you are, no matter what. Show your stretch marks, show your scars, show your freckles, show any imperfections. It's all beautiful. You can clearly change anything you want about your body, but you get there a hell of a lot faster as soon as you accept where you are right now. It's the truth.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. Coming from a place of I love it right now, and I choose,
Yep.
that thing about I love what I have now, and I'm excited for more, or excited for it to be
Yes.
that's
Yes.
very different from to where we're like, oh, I don't like it right now, I need to get rid of this, or I need to not have that, and it's such a different energy, isn't it, where we're able to just, like you said, when you just, oh, I love and that your post was so incredible for me, because I was like, okay, what do I love about my body? And then what are the parts of my
Yes.
body that I didn't used to love, that I would used to go, oh, that bit's too big,
Yes.
this bit's not the right shape, and to be able to do that and just look at it and just go, oh, I love that. I love that this looks, and it just is, it does, it
Yes.
sets us free, doesn't it, when we can do that.
Yeah. And one of my things, I was teased my entire life for being too skinny and having a flat chest my entire life. So the first thing I was going to do when I was 18 was go get my breasts done. That was the first thing I was going to do because I just was sick of being teased like this and this. Literally, my favorite part of my body is my tiny boobs. And I'm not joking because they're mine and they're perfect and I love them. And I was like, oh, thank God I didn't get a boob job. It's really fun when you, like, the thing that you were teased about so much you love about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I just, or my flat butt, I love it. Like, it's just perfect for me. My body is perfect for me and I love who I am and I feel so safe in my skin. And it's like, I want everyone to love everything about themselves. Everything that you've been teased about as a child and stuff like that, just start loving it. Start loving your bones, start loving your curves, your stretch marks, your C-section mark. Love it all. You can do whatever you want with it, but start loving it from that place.
Mm. And what would you do? So if you had someone who came to you as a client or a friend, what would you
Yeah.
suggest for them, like, to start off with, to start connecting with their body in a different way? Would you have, like, or does it depend on the person? I just wonder if you have, like, suggestions that might be helpful.
Yeah. So, I have had, like, I mean, just start with one thing you like about your body, just like one thing, and just let it kind of grow. If you have to, like, avoid mirrors for a little while or something like that, just so you don't wobble, it is okay. It is okay because one day you won't have to. Like, just start loving yourself. And then before you know it, you'll be looking in yourself in the mirror naked and you'll love yourself. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like, it's just, and I have seen so many different people because I have traveled the world and I've been on, like, cruises and stuff where there are people just wearing thong bikinis and stuff, like everyone, like every shape, every size, because they're all just living their best life. And that's so cool. Every shape and size, every age too. I've seen, like an 80-year-old in a thong bikini. I have on a cruise ship because everyone's just living their best life. It's so cool.
I love that. I love that as a mission in the world. Let's get everyone wearing bikinis. But I love
Love and
the,
accept.
absolutely, and I think what that brings up is that, some people would say, oh, you shouldn't wear this after a certain age, and it's like, no, we get to
That's
choose. If we feel good, then I'm going to wear a bikini. If I love my body, I'm going to wear a thong. Yeah, I might have cellulite.
yes.
Yeah, I might have
We all do.
stretch
We
marks.
all do.
Maybe my butt's bigger than someone else's butt, but
Yes.
like you said, it's my butt. It's my butt. Like, it's not, and that butt,
Yeah. And if
I carry it around every day, and it does a lot for me. So
and the thing is, like, we're like in America, like curves are everything. Like, they're everything. Like, it's so I get teased a lot, not anymore because I've cleared it, but like a lot, like a lot. And so, I mean, if I can stand here saying that I think I'm beautiful and I'm sexy and I don't have any curves, and my bones show and stuff, anyone can do it. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? In America, like everyone is curvy and like that is so beautiful. But I really think that I'm beautiful. I really think that I'm sexy.
Oh.
And I'm the opposite of what's cool. And my husband thinks so. So clearly we choose our life.
And it's so interesting you're saying that there's a lot of people will be, there's a lot of a movement now around kind of curves, because there was also a time, certainly when I was a teenager, when everyone they wanted you to be sort of very thin but with big boobs
Okay.
and a butt, but you weren't allowed to have too much of a curve, or not, it was a very kind of, and I mean, I look
Okay.
at myself now and think about how my body when I was like a teenager or in my early 20s, and I can look at myself now and I have so much love for my body in a way I
I
didn't
know.
then, when I was that age, where I probably aesthetically looked way better, as in my physical body, but I just couldn't see it. I thought I was too fat. I thought I had too many, I was very sporty. I was too many muscles. I was too muscly. That wasn't kind of an in thing when I was a teenager. My shoulders were too, there was so many things I used to, and now I'm like, I love my big shoulders. I love that I have big shoulders. I love my big legs and my thighs. It's like,
Yes.
they're perfect. They're exactly what they're meant to be. Like, that's, you know, fabulous, just as
Exactly.
they are.
Whatever makes you feel sexy,
Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to be.
yeah,
Like that's and it's supposed to be effortless. You know what I mean? Like it's not supposed to be hard to, you know what I mean? It's just be like, I woke up like this and I'm perfect. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I was wondering, when you were saying about just think of one thing, when you were saying like to start off with, if people are sort of working on it, sounds very similar to what you were talking about with money. That if we could
Yes.
just go to like, okay, one thing, what's one thing today that I can look at in my on my body and go, I really love that. And then
You know what just came to me?
yeah,
What everyone should do every day if they really want to know, they should have a body gratitude list. And at the end of the day, you have to write down 5 things about yourself that you like. And so all day you're looking for things that you like about yourself. I
yes.
think that's beautiful.
I love that. Oh
Yeah.
yes, I totally love that. And you reminded me of something that I decided to do yesterday, which wasn't quite the same, but I decided yesterday that I was going to notice every time I felt loving towards myself. So
Yeah.
like, and every time I noticed it, I was like, I would like ramp it up and I go, and I just had this love fest. I spent this the whole day
Love
just
that.
like just going, because I just, instead of noticing all the times I was feeling judgmental and then judging the judgments, like, this thing that we can get into is like, I'm going to notice every time I feel really loving. Oh my God. Like,
I love that. And also, if someone else is like commenting on your body or anything like that, what ladies can say to themselves, or men too, you can say, that's a really interesting statement, but I'm not in that story. Do you know what I mean? Like, because everyone can really say, if you can start seeing yourself not in other people's stories and their truth doesn't have to be your truth, then
yes.
you get to choose who you are. So that's a really interesting statement, but like, I'm not in that story. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that. That's such a great way of doing it, because it's like, it's not defensive, it's not pushing against, but it's like, that's really interesting. That's such an interesting statement. But yeah, I'm not in that story. Yeah, I'm not in that story.
Yeah, it's not for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or if you know what I mean, and it's just not for me. That's just not how I see myself. Like, so obviously you can see me however you want. You know what I mean? You have free will, but I'm not in that. So no, thank you.
Oh, I'm definitely going to use that one. I think that one's great.
Yeah,
Yeah. And when I'm wearing my thong
it's just about
on my cruise.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so funny. And it's like, I love Las Vegas too, and I've been there a billion times. And people are always wearing thong bikinis all over, every age, every body type. It's amazing.
Love that. I love that. And I think, like you said, let's embrace that. Let's not have rules. Like you said, we get to make our rules. We all get
Yes.
to make our own rules. And if if we feel good doing something, then do it. It's not hurting anyone else. It's just feels really good for us. We should give ourselves permission. Let's keep going out. Give ourselves permission slips every day for all the things that we want to do.
Yeah, and if there's anything that anyone can do for themselves, fall deeply, madly in love with yourself, like where you just want to kiss yourself every day because you love yourself, and fall deeply and madly with money. Like those are two wonderful things that you can do. You'll rule the world.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, if you do both of them, you're just like, oh, you're soaring, aren't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you could do it at the same time. So you could be doing 1% a day on your money and one thing every day that you love about your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And start like buying yourself clothes that make you feel sexy. Like, and you know, start spending a little bit more on yourself than you're comfortable with. You know what I mean? Because you deserve it. Like, instead of like always like just going to the sale rack right away, try to buy something that's full price and just and maybe one item a month, one item a week, and start building your dream closet. You know what I mean? The money will show up. It will support you. So you'll feel sexy, amazing, and confident. And you'll show yourself that you can bring more money in all the time. And this is your new base. You know what I mean? So start building your dream closet. And you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive thing ever, but just start stretching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you say that, I think I love for myself how I've shifted. And I think you've been a really good mentor around this about shopping and feeling into the energy of things that feel good. So that feels good. That I love that item, and I'm choosing it because it feels really good. It looks really good. I love it. I love the shape, the color, the texture, whatever it is that we're just and then connecting with that energy. And also like you said, choosing that money supports us, money's there, stretching ourselves a little bit, and where
Yep.
we may sometimes get a little bit of wobble. So if we get a little bit of wobble, I love your phrase that you use. I choose to see things differently. So I choose
Yes.
things
Yep.
differently. And then come back to, yeah, absolutely. Money supports me. Money's here for me. Money loves me.
Yeah.
Money loves me to have amazing clothes. Money loves it when I clothe myself in things that feel really good. Um, because money loves to see us having fun, happy,
Yep.
all of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, when you have your dream closet and you're looking good like every day and stuff, you're going to present yourself different to the world. Like you're going to show up your best self because you look amazing and you love the clothes that you're in, and you're in clothes that support you, and they're not going to be like throwaways. You're going to be in quality clothes that make you feel good, make you feel expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I want to go and buy something now.
I
Something
know, I love that.
luxurious.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. But that from that plate, that's the thing I find so interesting again, and it comes back to beliefs that I might have grown up with around sort of money or material things, or clothes, whatever, that somehow spiritual didn't include these things. So spiritual was this very separate kind of homogenized sort of, this is what it was. Religious for me, but like it was very
Yeah.
separate from, whereas actually everything can be a spiritual experience. So our connection to money is a spiritual experience. Our connection, if we're shopping, whatever it might be, is like a, when we're connected from that place of love, all of it, it's all just part of our human experience. It can all be a spiritual experience.
Yeah, because everything is anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I think that's so, I don't even get that because I grew up with a mom like that too. Like she like would never get herself anything like ever, 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 ever. Like never. And I'm like, I didn't get it. I'm like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to treat yourself. I didn't get it, but it was just such a lack mindset. I understand now, but I'm just like, I don't get why you wouldn't want to like wear a pretty dress every day or something. You know what I mean? Like, why not live your best life every day? Because this is all there is this moment forward. And I mean, even yesterday, I was like having like a lot of contrast in the morning. And then I had a podcast episode. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get in the shower. I'm going to put on a beautiful dress and do my hair. And it was gone because I
Mm,
showed up differently. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I think that's incredible that you can do that. But I think what that shows is how you've really got to this place now where you're able to like, this is what I choose, and actually I've had that experience, and now I choose that actually I'm going to shower, I'm going to like cleanse whatever it is, let go of it. I'm going to step into, and it's not a pretend, it's not a fake, it's not a kind
Not
of
at all.
on a, like a smile when you're not really there. It's like a true like, no, this
Right.
I choose that actually I've had that now. I'm now going to choose that I'm going to feel this. I'm going to have this great podcast. I'm going to really enjoy the session. I'm going to feel really whatever that you get to do that.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was like, okay, source, like I clearly don't understand. You know what I mean? With my human mind, I know that I might be in the energy of the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pin in it for me. I'm going to let go because I'm not in the receiving mode. You know what I mean? Because I'm in the energy of the problem. I'm going to shower. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to make myself look the way I want. And I know you're going to have a million downloads for me as soon as I get into the receiving mode. So I know that. So I know I have to get, or if I ever feel like really bad or something, I'll go take a bath or something. Like I know that. You know how Abraham says, go take a nap? Well, I can't go take a nap. I can't lay down and like have my mind be still. So I have to go take a bath or go lay in the sun or something like that. But I know that I can't get there from there. So I have to get in the receiving mode somehow.
Yeah, and that's so key, isn't it? And I think we all have different ways of doing that. I
Yeah.
know for me, it's probably exercise is definitely one of the ways that I do it. So I would be like, okay, similar to you, I'm like, I'm gonna find something that I'm going to say, right, I'm in the energy of the problem. I'm getting caught up in this. It's going round and round. I'm going to step out, and I'm going to choose that I'm going to go and do a run for 30 minutes.
Yes.
And while I
Yes.
do that run, I'm going to focus on my feet on the ground, my breath, breathing,
Yep.
what's going on around outside me. And often for me, while I'm exercising, just something will come. I'll suddenly have like a,
Yes.
that was, oh yeah, okay. And it's already gone. And
Exactly.
I come back and it's like, because the run just took me out of this kind of cycle of going round and round. And then as soon as you step out, you go and do something that you like enjoy or feels good, or, and like you said, taking a nap could be what works for some people. Um, then it's like you're in a different energy, so you don't even go back into it because you're in the receiving mode. And sometimes just
Yes.
being in the receiving mode is enough. Just being in a place of, I'm just here right now, and I'm just going to enjoy where I am right now. Whatever it is, what's going on, sometimes it just goes. It's just not there anymore. It's just, we don't even have to. There's nothing to be done. And if there's something like inspired that will also help, then that tends to come. But in a totally, like you said, in a totally, you're in a totally different space. And I love that you say you get a million downloads, because I'm sure you do get a million downloads. Because I the way the way you put yourself out there is just so clear that you're just so connected with your spirit team, with source, with,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I also like if I really let go and I let go of like I know I'm source energy, but I know I have a human mind. And I say, hey, you know, I am not seeing this correct. That's why I feel so bad. And I literally will say, I will sing that song, I Surrender All. Like I will just do it, like just to get out of the energy. And I will say, I am willing to see things differently. I am willing to see things differently. That's how I overcame depression, was by that prayer, honestly.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. So
Yeah.
I surrender. I'm willing to see things differently. I think the one
Even if you have to sing it, just have fun.
yeah,
I surrender all. I surrender all. Like I'm willing to see things differently. La da. You know what I mean? Like just
no,
stop. You don't have to figure everything out.
we really don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. Because what comes for me from that is it then takes us into that place of there's nothing for us to do, there's nowhere for us to go, there's nothing for us to figure out, there's nothing to fix. And when we suddenly go, oh, settle into that, that's what is receiving mode. That is what is being in alignment, isn't it? It's this right now, right here is perfect just as it is. And then more comes. Yeah.
One thing I adopted last week, because everyone knows that I'm obsessed with Bashar, like obsessed with Bashar. I always say Bashar is my real dad. Like I'm obsessed with Bashar. He says how exciting. He says how exciting when there's contrast. I started saying that, like when something happens that like makes me angry or something, I say how exciting, because I get excited about the person I'm about to become after this.
Yes. No, I love that.
I do.
I don't. So I think I'm not quite moved to excitement, but I've moved to curiosity. So I'm more like, oh, I'm
Yes.
curious. What is this about? So what? Oh, this is good. This is interesting. This is so interesting. But maybe, yeah, maybe I could shift that to exciting. Like this is exciting. What's going to come out? What am I going to come out like the other side of this?
Yeah, because Bashar says you go down in vibration, then you bounce higher. You go down, you bounce higher. And I'm like, oh, that's so great. Like, you know what I mean? I can't wait to be on the other side of this. Yeah. So I should just chill out until I am.
I love that. I totally believe that Bashar is your real dad. Like we're
I do
like he is. Bashar is your real dad.
I know. I was like, I'm thinking about how that could happen. But I feel, and that thing is like my morning practice, like I only listen to Bashar now. Like I only do, like, because I feel way too connected. And to like, I don't know, it just, and I get excited, you know what I mean? Like every morning to listen to him. So it's just like something so cool. It's so amazing.
He is amazing. I love it when he talks about, everything that happens is neutral. So whatever happens is neutral and we get to give it a perspective. So why wouldn't we give it a perspective that this is for my benefit? Like, and I love how he's so, everything he says is like, I kind of almost hear myself going, well, duh, how did I not realize this? Like, because it's not really complex. It's not, and actually he I don't want to say he repeats himself because I think there's a lot to what he says, but his energy is just like you said, oh, how exciting, oh, brilliant, oh, great, you've got some, that's so cool, you've got contract. He's and he genuinely, it's not a joke, he's not messing around, yeah, I'm really excited, what's this gonna bring? And his teachings of like follow your highest excitement is like, that is just so liberating, isn't it? Like I don't have to think about anything else other than what in this moment, what's the next thing that, okay, do I want to do this? Okay, what's my highest excitement? And I think you always say, like, if it's not a hell yeah, then I'm not doing it. Like I'm going to do stuff that just lights me up, that feels really good, that just like, yeah. And if you follow what Bashar says, it's like that's all we're really here to do, just follow our highest excitement, and everything else just falls into place.
Yeah, absolutely. And like this morning I had to download, like I wanted like to try to create something, and I was like, well, like I'm kind of sure, not sure. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait till I'm completely sure, because then it's there. And I'm like, I don't care if it takes 2 years or 1 month because I'm having fun. I don't care. So, I mean, that's the energy that I've always wanted to be in when creating things. It's like, I don't care when it shows up because I'm having so much fun all the time. And I can wait till I'm sure. Like, I don't have to wobble all the time. And I think that's so liberating when you don't care when it shows up
Yeah.
because you know you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, I'll shift into that. I understand. I also understand that I don't understand as a human. Like, I might like want a Lamborghini and I don't have it tomorrow. So I have to understand that there's a process for me to go through and it's a little bit slower than I think it should be. And I accept that. And that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get excited about an idea and it doesn't show up tomorrow like you think it should. It is okay. Like just surrender. You're going to get it. But manifestation's a little bit slower than I think that we think it should be. Would
Sure.
you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. And what's coming to mind is when he talks about, yeah, absolutely. You can visualize, you
You know
can
what I mean?
see what you're gonna, but actually
Yeah,
don't be attached to the outcome. Don't get attached
yeah,
because it's like if we
yes,
can say it's this or something better, like that whatever's coming
yeah,
is gonna come. And I there was a quote that I saw this morning that I really connected with, which was like, um, when we're attached to nothing, we're connected to everything. And I was just like, that just felt
yeah,
so true. Like, so we're not when we absolutely we can have all these desires. And I love it when you talk about like how whatever our desires, if we're having those desires, then we're met, we can have that. We can absolutely have it.
absolutely.
But it's also this like this interesting game of like, let's not get too attached to how it has to come, when it has to come, what shape it has to come in. So
Like, chill, you got it. You know what I mean?
yeah, to chill. You've had that desire. You've asked for it, as it were, and then you just chill it. You chill the f out. You just chill out, and you know that it's coming. And again, I think there's something that you've talked about before as well, which I love, Kaycee, which is like, know that it's coming. So know that it's
Yes,
coming. And like you said, you know. So when you were talking then, you know that this project you've got, whatever you're doing, you know that the ideas are going to come. So you know
yes,
it, you can feel it, you trust it, you expect it, you know it.
yes,
But you're also not saying it has to come tomorrow or it needs to come like this. You're like, I'm having fun, I'm having so much fun, so I know it's going to come, and it will come when it comes. And I know when it comes, it will be perfect. It will be exactly what I asked for, or more, or better, or yeah, absolutely.
yeah. This analogy is coming up to me because I've had like, okay, so me and my husband have been on a million cruises. Like we're a million cruises. And we always chill out. Like we literally chill by the pool all the time, like stay in our room, do this, like wear our pajamas because we've been on so many cruises. But we have been with people that have been on cruise, like with our friends and stuff. They have to do every single activity every day, because it might be the only cruise they go on.
Mhm.
Like chill out.
Oh, I
You
love that
can go on as
analogy.
many cruises as you want. You will always have the opportunity. But they're like, this is the only cruise. I got to do this. It's like, no. Like, you can go on a lot of cruises. You know what I mean?
And I think now, and I'm going to bring it to a close in a minute, but it brings us quite nicely back to money, which you were talking back at the beginning, which is that we can sometimes, when money does come to us, we can kind of want to hold on to it, and like, oh, I'm not going to get more of this. Like you were saying, there's going to be more cruises, there's going to be more. And it's the same, isn't it, when we come back to money? It's like, we don't have to hold on to stuff tightly, we don't have to kind of go, "Urgh." we can we can
Right.
we can receive, and actually receive and spend. We're bringing more to us, we're bringing more to us.
Yes.
And like you're talking about the cruise, like going on a cruise, it's like you enjoy, you have fun, but you
Yes.
also know that it's like, I can choose this at any time. I get to go on a,
Yes.
and I may not choose to go on a cruise, or I may choose to go on a cruise, but I get to choose the experiences I have. And money's there. money supports me, money shows up, and yeah, we get to have fun.
Yeah, relax a lot. And one more thing I want to say, like sometimes my clients, like they'll talk about money that they want and all this stuff, and I'll be like, write a number down that you want, or this and this and this. But they're like, I'm not sure what to do, if I should choose this much or this much. I'm like, ask for them both, because you can have anything you want and relax. Like, that's how great life is. You know what I mean? You get to have everything you want, everything.
Oh, that's the perfect way to end. You get
Yes.
to have everything you want. Thank you so much, Kaycee. I love you so much. You are incredible. You are just, and before we finish, so you've got your podcast, Hey Love Queen. Any other ways that people can get in contact with you if they want to speak with you, catch up with you for whatever? Where would you say for people to go?
So Instagram is Hey Love Queen, and then Kaycee Peterson on Facebook. Everyone that contacts me usually just messages me through there. And yeah, you can catch all my podcasts on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm on all the things for that. And all the videos are on YouTube. So yeah, I make it super easy because I'm on everything.
Perfect.
And it's just Hey Love Queen.
And I have to say, I couldn't more highly recommend you. I think you're incredible.
Thank you.
Anyone who's not doing that already, go to Hey Love Queen and see Kaycee in action. Thank you so much, lovely. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And see you again soon. Lots of love.